Hey screen friends, get ready. We're going on a trip to Nazareth through the film Mandatory. But don't worry, this isn't a film about having to report or doing community service. This is a story about the drama of a wedding invitation letter that not only makes your feet tired, but also your heart. Imagine, you are invited around town by your father, whose conversations are always about traditions, while you can't wait to return to your modern life abroad. How could it not be fun? So prepare some hot tea, sit back, relax, and before we start, first click the like button below. Otherwise, your wedding invitation letter could get lost to your neighbors. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss other exciting stories, and share with friends who always complain about family duties, so they know, tea here is something more complicated than yours. Come on, let's get started. The film begins with scenes of daily life in the city of Nazareth. The camera captures a busy but warm urban atmosphere, depicting the close relationships between residents. Amid this frenzy, we are introduced to Shadi, a young architect living in Italy, but returning to Nazareth to attend his sister's wedding. Shadi meets his father, Abu Shadi, a teacher who is nearing retirement. The two have a fairly awkward and tension-filled relationship, which soon becomes the film's central dynamic. Differences in views between them regarding tradition, modern life, and politics begin to appear. Shadi and Abu Shadi carried out the Palestinian tradition of handing out wedding invitations directly to the homes of family and friends. Here, we begin to see generational differences between father and son. Abu Shadi appears relaxed and upholds traditional values, while Shadi often appears irritated by these customs. On the way to deliver the invitations, the conversation between Shadi and his father touches on various topics, ranging from local politics, social pressure, to the family's past. Their dialogue reflects the larger tensions within Palestinian-Israeli society, with Abu Shadi accepting the reality of his life, while Shadi appears more critical and skeptical. Along the way, the conversations between Shadi and Abu Shadi started to get sharper. Abu Shadi questioned why Shadi chose to stay in Italy and leave Nazareth. Shadi, in turn, criticizes his father for being too complacent with life under a system he finds unjust. This difference in views created an increasingly tense atmosphere in their car. In each house they visit, Shadi and Abu Shadi meet various characters who illustrate the diversity of Palestinian society in Nazareth. Some welcome them warmly, but there were also awkward moments that showed differences in social status and political views. In one scene, Shadi subtly argues with someone who holds different views about the Palestinian diaspora, making Abu Shadi feel uncomfortable. Shadi made comments about how Abu Shadi didn't seem to respect their mother, who had left the family. Abu Shadi defended himself by saying that he always tried to do the best for his family. This conversation shows the unresolved pain in their father-daughter relationship, adding an emotional layer to the story. Shadi believes that he considers his father's generation to be too compromising with circumstances and not rebellious enough against the system that oppresses them, while Abu Shadi looks at things from a pragmatic point of view, saying that survival and maintaining family honor is more important than being an unrealistic idealist. Amidst the tension, there are some moments of light humor. During one visit, a relative joked about Shadi's status as a single man, putting additional pressure on Shadi to follow his sister into marriage. Abu Shadi seems to be enjoying this joke, while Shadi looks increasingly depressed. Shadi constantly complains about this obligatory tradition. He said it was just a waste of time. Abu Shadi explained that this tradition is not just about invitations, but a way of maintaining relationships and respecting the community. Shadi lives in Italy and has adopted values different from those held by his father, who lived in Nazareth, Palestine. Shadi is more liberal and critical of tradition, while Abu Shadi is more traditional and adheres to existing social norms. These differences often trigger clashes of views in their conversations. Then Shadi gave an invitation to his ex's house, and in his ex's house, they made love.
Mantap, mantap, mantap, mantap, mantap. İki kimochi, iki kimochi. Geli geli basa, geli geli enak, geli geli basa, geli geli enak. Jusa. Mantap, mantap, mantap, mantap, mantap. İki kimochi, iki kimochi. Geli geli basa, geli geli enak, geli geli basa, geli geli enak. Jusa. Mantap, mantap, mantap, mantap, mantap. İki kimochi, iki kimochi. Geli geli basa, geli geli enak, geli geli basa, geli geli enak. Jusa. Mantap, mantap, mantap, mantap, mantap. İki kimochi, iki kimochi.
In the car, his father was quietly smoking. Shadi has repeatedly reminded his father not to smoke. Abu Shadi feels responsible for maintaining family honor and maintaining traditions, especially at Shadi's sister's wedding. On the other hand, Shadi feels that this tradition is outdated and irrelevant to his life. Shadi and Abu Shadi arrived at the house of a local official who was quite influential in their community. The official praised Abu Shadi for his dedication as a teacher in the community. However, he indirectly questioned Shadi's choice to leave his hometown. Hadi gave a short and rather cynical answer, showing that he was tired of the pressure to defend his decision. Shadi is an architect who lives a modern life abroad, has a non-Palestinian partner, and is perhaps not as tied to tradition as his father. Abu Shadi felt that Shadi's life choices did not match his expectations, especially in terms of preserving Palestinian culture and traditions. They visited an old friend, Abu Shadi, who was very warm and humorous. This friend broke the tension by joking about how Abu Shadi was starting to age, but remained faithful to carrying out traditions. Shadi seemed a little more relaxed in this house, especially since his father's friends kept the mood lighter. Then there was a moment where Shadi had to deliver an invitation to his mother's friend's house. At the beginning, these ladies were very polite. But after Shadi came out, these mothers talked about Shadi's family's disgrace. Shadi accidentally heard it. This mother gossiped about Shadi's mother who ran away, leaving Abu Shadi and her 2 children to go to America with her boyfriend. It's also painful to hear what these mothers say. How do you feel about running away when your family is in trouble? What is it called if not a bastard? If you run away with your children, it is still acceptable, but ran away leaving his child behind? Well, you are worse than animal slutty bitch. Shadi often criticized Abu Shadi for his compromised view of the political and social situation in Palestine. Okay, continue. But if you think about it, something unpleasant happened while delivering this invitation. Car hit by dog. Then I was queuing at the pump. Someone broke into the queue, which resulted in a commotion that led to fistfights. There was also an incident where Abu Shadi's car had its tires inflated because someone didn't like cars parked haphazardly in their place. There are also incidents where the date and day do not match in the invitation letter. It had already been printed. It was printed incorrectly. The printing department didn't want to take responsibility either. In the end, they were replaced manually one by one. Their next visit took them to the home of a former co-worker of Abu Shadi's, who apparently had great respect for his father. Abu Shadi feels appreciated here, something that gives him satisfaction amidst the tension with Shadi. Shadi started to seem more and more withdrawn, perhaps out of guilt or tiredness from everything he experienced during the day. Shadi and Abu Shadi finally arrived at the house of the prospective bride, Amira. Amira, who is very close to their family, spoke privately with Shadi. Amira asked if Shadi was truly happy with his life abroad. He mentioned that although life in Nazareth was difficult, there was a warmth that couldn't be found anywhere else. Shadi was silent for a moment before answering that he wasn't sure what happy meant anymore. His answer reflected his deep frustration.
Then Amira wants to choose a wedding dress. According to her, Amira will wait for her mother to come so she can ask for her opinion about which dress is better. Here Shadi opens a rather sad topic of conversation. Most likely his mother could not attend, because her husband in America was dying. Abu Shadi laughed sarcastically when he heard that. Now the woman suddenly doesn't want to leave her husband? Why wasn't he like that before? This choke check makes Amira look sad. Why her husband's life could be more important than attending her own child's wedding. Then Abu Shadi tried to cheer Amira up. In your opinion, which dress feels more comfortable? Amira answered, a pink dress. Then choose that one. Then they hugged. Then Abu Shadi and Shadi continued to spread invitations. Visit to the home of a neighbor of a different religion. During this visit, religious differences became a topic of discussion, but the atmosphere remained warm. This scene shows how the people of Nazareth actually live side by side with various backgrounds, even though they are often colored by internal conflict. Shadi and Abu Shadi visit a former colleague of Abu Shadi's who now lives in poverty. This colleague shared memories with Abu Shadi, highlighting the struggles they faced to raise their children in difficult times. Hearing this story, Shadi saw a side of his father he had never understood before, a man who survived for his family despite the pressure.
Shadi has begun to understand his father's past, that his father really tried to become a single fighter so that his family could survive until now. It is not an easy thing, especially to survive in the Palestinian territory.
Last invitation to Abu Shadi's friend, Rani Avi. Spontaneously, Shadi immediately stopped the car. Shadi doesn't want Rani Avi to be invited. Rani Avi is a Palestinian Christian who works with the Israeli government. In the context of the film, this is considered by most of the Palestinian Arab community to be an act of collaboration with those they view as oppressive. Shadi assumes that Rani is an Israeli spy assigned to the school. His job is to supervise the school, check books, curriculum, and determine the teachers, even to the point of arranging who the OB is. In Shadi's view, this shows that his father cared more about maintaining social relations and traditions than maintaining firm principles. This further exacerbates the differences in views between Shadi and his father. Abu Shadi may also have a pragmatic reason why he still maintains a good relationship with Rani. In a society under political pressure such as in Nazareth, establishing good relations with certain parties, including those with ties to the authorities, can be a way to protect the family from unnecessary trouble or risk. Abu Shadi prioritizes a compromise attitude to save his family. When they got back to the car, the tension finally exploded. Abu Shadi expresses his tiredness. He admits that raising Shadi and his younger brother alone is not easy. Abu Shadi emphasized that he could have made decisions like his wife, by leaving his homeland and leaving his family, but that wasn't done. He asked Shadi to understand a little that this tradition was his way of maintaining family honor amidst all the difficulties.
Abu Shadi, who has to live in everyday reality in Nazareth, chooses to be pragmatic, while Shadi, who lives abroad, is more idealistic. There is an emotional tension in their relationship that arises not only from the current situation, but also from the past. The separation between Shadi's parents and feelings of disappointment towards his father could be the root of many of the conflicts that arise.
Shadi shows sympathy. For the first time, Shadi seems a little touched by his father's honesty, although he still has difficulty expressing his feelings. Both are the same stone. Abu Shadi keeps sending invitations to Rani Avi. Shadi walks home. On Shadi's way home, he met one of his father's friends. He said that his father often talked about Shadi. He will feel lonely after Amira's marriage because he will live alone. He suggested that it would be better for Shadi to accompany his father here because he will need you more. Shadi couldn't hold back his tears. The two met at home. The film ends with a conversation that Shadi's mother's new husband died, so her mother could attend Amira's wedding. Then they both smoked together, and that's mandatory story. A trip around Nazareth full of drama, laughter, and subtle innuendos that will definitely make you think, oh, this is really me. From just delivering wedding invitations, we are taught a lot about family, traditions, and how complicated it is to talk to your father. If you feel related, don't forget to give a sign of love by clicking the like button below. Do you have an exciting story or family drama that is no less unique? Just comment. Who knows? Maybe we all have stories that are not that different. Oh, and make sure you subscribe so you don't miss other film plots that are more exciting than your family drama, but still, family drama makes us stronger. Share this video with your friends so they can also experience the same drama, and we can both understand how important it is to stay connected with family. See you in the next video, Atrides Data Center friends.
Dan kita bisa sama-sama ngertiin betapa pentingnya tetap terhubung sama keluarga. Sampai jumpa di video berikutnya, Sobat Atreides Data Center.